Force of Operation Lafia Dole destroys terrorist training camp. Minister of Interior inspects modern custodial center in Kano. Plus, correspondent takes a look at the role of traditional rulers in information dissemination against COVID-19. Hello everyone, this is Panorama coming to you live from the NTA Enugu Network Center. I am Chinenye Nwoye. Troops of Operation Toura Bango, in collaboration with the Air Task Force Lafia Dole, have destroyed 7 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists and decimated unconfirmed number of terrorists at the outskirts of Mate in Mate local government area in Borno State. A press statement from the Acting Director Defense Media Operations, Defense Headquarters, Brigadier General Bernard Onyuko, states that the troops awaited by the terrorists in an ambush based on information which killed 2 fierce battle that resulted in the successes recorded. According to the statement, the troops are still engaged in pursuit of the fleeing terrorists. Meanwhile, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Burute, has commended the troops, especially the Air Task Force Operation Lafia Dole, for their heroic actions which resulted in their successes recorded when Boko Haram terrorists attacked troops' locations in Mate axis. The Directorate of Defense Media Operations, DMO, says the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has destroyed a Boko Haram terrorist training camp, along with a suspected ammunition depot, and neutralized several terrorists at Noa in the Bama area of Borno. DMO's coordinator, Major General John Enenche, says this was achieved through airstrikes executed on 14th January 2021, sequel to intelligence reports indicating that the cluster of huts and other structures in the settlement were being used to conduct combat training for the terrorists on a regular basis. Following a series of confirmatory area surveillance missions, Nigerian Air Force helicopter gunships in a night raid scored accurate hits on the target area, which led to the neutralization of several BHTs as well as their structures, including their armory, where multiple mini explosions were observed amidst the raging fire. Several other terrorists neutralized in follow-up attacks by the helicopter gunships. Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola has expressed satisfaction with the pace of work at the ongoing construction of Janguza ultra-modern custodial facility in Kano State. The minister, who was on assessment visit, said federal courts will continue to provide conducive atmosphere for inmates across the country. Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
The ongoing construction of Kano Custodial Center is one among the 6 in the country with 3,000 capacity. While inspecting the project, Minister of Interior Rauf Aregbesola said the Buhari-led administration is concerned with the condition of inmates, which brought about significant changes to do away with dehumanizing nature of prisons to serve as correctional centers.
The design and the provision for the inmates. You have facilities for awaiting trial inmates, facilities for categories of convicts, from petty criminals to medium convicts and maximum security convicts.
The new dawn in administration of Correctional Center will no doubt launch the country in the League of Nations which observe human rights. The project is expected to be completed before the end of year 2021. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Former Governor of Gombe State, Ibrahim Dankwambo, has tasked chiefs and political leaders of Bolo to guard development projects in their community. The former governor spoke at the inauguration of Bolo internal roads in Ogubolo local government area of Rivers State. Ogedi Nyekwere completes the report.
Bolo is one of the coastal communities that has suffered tidal erosion and perennial flooding because of east terrain. However, All that is a thing of the past now, with the construction of internal roads in the community by the Rivers State government. Governor Wike reiterated that every project started by the Rivers State government under his watch would be completed. He, however, stated that the state government would no longer take over the responsibility of local government authorities and enjoin the council chairmen to do their bit in their various council areas.
Anybody who wants to go back for chairmanship must show us what the person has done in that local government. I have told our leaders not to come and tell me this is their voice, because we must bring people who are willing, who are committed to work for the people.
I want to therefore urge the people of this community to use these facilities that have been provided to ensure that they grow the economy of this community, empower more youth, ensure that all the farmlands and the produce that are produced in this community are easily evacuated to the market.
The Bolo internal road is 7 kilometers long rigid pavement with 14 kilometers drainage and crisscrosses every part of the community. In Bolo, Ogbolo local government area of Rivers State. Ogedinyekwere, NTA News.
People in Obinofia community in Ezagu local government area of Enugu State are expressing shock at the level of devastation caused by gully erosion on the community's only major road. Chimaroke Ugu reports that the people are calling for urgent government intervention to save the community from the threat of the gully.
Recounting their experiences while trying to access their homes through major roads, which is directly linked to Enugu-Onitsha expressways, some of the affected persons noted that the gully has expanded more than they could imagine, as erosion has called them off.
This community, Obinafia, has been divided into two within the last 3 years. People from this community cannot mix up with these people. You can see these vehicles that are parked in this place. It's just like a garage because of there's no way they can drive to their homes. And this is the road, the only road that links Obinafia to Obinafia to Unizik, Amansi.
Erosion disaster is coming nearer to take off even houses and other things to destroy.
They appeal to the state and federal government to revisit the abandoned road project, which is the cause of the gully.
We are in danger, in big danger. If there's any rain now, many houses will be going this rain.
We are pleading, we are crying for any person that cares to listen to us to assist this community.
The members of the community decried that the situation of the road makes it difficult to convey pregnant women, the sick, and the elderly to the hospitals, as well as transport farm produce to the markets. In Enugu, Chimaroke Ugu, NTA News.
As the country celebrates Armed Forces Remembrance Day, wives of fallen heroes are appealing to the government to look into their plight. Chika Ugu reports that they made this appeal in Enugu when the state governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi visited them as part of activities to commemorate this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
Most of these widows lost their husbands in the course of serving their fatherland, ensuring sanity and security of lives and property. Unfortunately, some of these women are faced with so many challenges. Mrs. Sarah Uwaboyi is a young and vibrant mother of 2 children who got struck by the arrow of love all the way from Plateau State to Enugu State. But unfortunately, the cold hands of death separated her from the husband.
It is not easy at all when a husband died and leave you very young with tender children who are not up to anything. You start catering for them by yourself all alone. It's not easy. School fees is there. You know, once a soldier dies, after a while, you will leave the barracks.
Just like Mrs. Sarah, there are other wives of fallen heroes struggling not just to feed, but to enjoy the basic needs of livelihood. Most of these women, as gathered, are graduates and skilled.
Personally, I'm living in someone's house with my 4 children. My husband died as a captain, a young captain. He did not build house in the village, neither did he build in the city. And most of us who are looking for permanent job,
looking for job opportunity. If the federal government can assist us.
It is heart-melting seeing the smiles on the faces of these widows as they struggle to carry the bags of rice given to them by the state government and sums of money. But just like Oliver Twist, they are asking for more show of love, attention and assistance from the government and well-meaning Nigerians to ease their sufferings. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
We will take a break here. Panorama continues with Naja Atu in Abuja after this break. Do stay.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
Coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real.
The federal government, through the National Directorate of Employment, has kicked off the extended public works program of 774,000 jobs for youths in Taraba State. Zana Joseph Gambo reports.
The works program of the federal government is designed to create 774,000 jobs across the country. The program is also aimed at creating transit jobs and provide sources of income to the poor and vulnerable members of the society to ameliorate the effect of COVID-19 pandemic. With the flag off of the program in Toura State, 16,000 participants from the 16 local government areas are expected to be engaged in various community-specific public works activities.
Engaging the nation's youth in some important sectors of the economy. This strategy is intended to facilitate the creation of productive and inclusive societies in our nation.
It is important to stress the cordial relationship between the Taraba State government under the leadership of Architect Diction Ishaku. I therefore crave for more cooperation towards the successful implementation of this program.
The sum of 460 million naira is to be committed to the success of the program in the state, in which each beneficiary will receive 20,000 naira monthly stipend for 3 months.
The impact of the monthly income of the participants on the economy of the state would be tremendous, thus reducing crimes and other vices.
Our communities will receive a payslip through the activities of the participants as they will engage in various community environment specific public works activities ranging from a drainage area and orchard maintenance among many others.
The beneficiaries are full of gratitude to the federal government for the gesture. Stakeholders pledged partnership for the success of the program in the state. In Jalingo, Joseph Zanagambo, NTA News.
And across Nigerian shores, Uganda's Electoral Commission has declared President Yoweri Museveni as the winner of the presidential election conducted last Thursday. The electoral body says Mr. Museveni won about 59% of the total votes cast. Musa Baba Aliu reports.
The 70-year-old President Yoweri Museveni has been in power since 1986.
Good, it was a big blessing.
And this is the 6th time he will be winning the presidential elections. Amid accusations of vote rigging, Election Commission Chairman Justice Simon Muganyi announced that Museveni won almost 59% of the votes, with Bobi Wine trailing with about 35%. He said turnout was 57% of the almost 18 million registered voters. The close rival to the president, Bobi Wine, rejected the election result and vowed to provide evidence of fraud once the internet was restored. Opposition politicians have also accused the government of harassment.
We didn't care about your religion, we didn't care about your tribe, we didn't care about whether you're a man or a woman. What we cared about were your qualities as a person.
Mr. Museveni, who came to power on the back of an armed uprising in 1986, stood as leader of the national resistance movement. He has long been depicted to Ugandans as a liberator and peace bridger. Reports say President Museveni has managed to maintain his grip on power through a mixture of encouraging a personality cult, employing patronage, compromising independent institutions, and sidelining opponents. Musa Baba Aliu, NTA News.
Latest figures by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) has confirmed 1,598 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. A breakdown indicates that Lagos has 461, the highest number of cases, followed by the Federal Capital Territory with 206. Plateau State has 197 cases, Rivers 168, Kaduna 116, Anambra 53, Ogun 49, Ebonyi 47, Edo 42, Sokoto 32, 31 in Imo and Katsina, while Oyo has 30 and Akwa Ibom 27. Others are Delta and Kano with 16 cases each, 15 in Abia and Niger, Ondo 11, Bayelsa 10, Borno 9, Kebbi 8, Ekiti 7, and Jigawa 1 case. The 1,598 new cases of COVID-19 bring the total number of confirmed cases to 108,943, while discharged cases stand at 85,367, with 1,420 deaths recorded so far. As the second wave of the coronavirus surges, Hadiza Godwin Ebony reports that has been visiting some schools to monitor the preparations.
Though learning has taken some unusual tradition, soap, running water and other COVID-19 safety facilities have taken precedence over the usual school resumption, and here at FCT schools, the reality cannot be more stark. Authorities in the FCT administration are assuring all stakeholders that all necessary facilities will be in place both at the primary and secondary school to ensure that when the gates go open for resumption again, it is safe.
All that are needed for the smooth running of the educational system of FCT have been provided, ranging from expansion of the school structures, renovation of school structures, provision of hand sanitizers and all non-pharmaceutical materials. So it was a moment that we learned, and we learned very, very fast. So I think we are prepared to face perhaps any challenge that will come up arising from the second wave. Yes, but what we have done, we have devised a strategy where we have shift arrangement. In most of the populated schools, where you have morning shift and afternoon shift, that will give you, of course, more or less like an additional 50% space opportunity arising from the shift arrangement that we have currently now.
The premises of the University of Abuja is still a ghost town. No students in sight. When they do resume as scheduled, however, they will be greeted by this COVID-19 awareness signboard and a campus that gathered dust and leaves. At the Senate building, though, it is not yet business as usual, but there is enough activities to see the routine tasks through. No official agreed to speak with us, but these hand-washing points says it all. At the University Center for Distance Learning in Area 3, the atmosphere is not different, but all this could change in a matter of days when the federal government-sanctioned date for resumption kicks in. Hadiza Godwin Ebuni, NTA News.
Similarly, Chidebere Onya investigates some of the safety measures amidst preparation for resumption of academics in Nigeria's tertiary institutions.
The spike in the number of coronavirus cases necessitated government's directive for schools, including universities, to remain closed until January 18, 2021. Ahead of the resumption date, University of Port Harcourt is leaving nothing to chance to ensure the safety of its students, teachers, and visitors alike. Chairman COVID-19 Steering Committee, Uniport, Professor Iyopu Similia-Layi, speaks more on the readiness of the school to commence academic activities.
We have decided that we will enforce mask wearing. The biggest challenge we have for safe resumption is social distancing. As you know, in the past 1 year, we have not built new facilities. So if you have a class of 300 people, how do you maintain social distancing within the classroom?
While schools in Rivers State resumed since the 4th of January 2021, the quest to reduce the impact of coronavirus on education prompted the enforcement of COVID-19 non-pharmaceutical protocols to prevent the spread of the virus in schools.
If you look behind me here, you see this equipment here. The university actually manufactured this. All you need to do is step on this, and then you get the sanitizer, you get soap, and you get water. Wash your hands and before you get into any building. All of this we're trying to do to make sure that our people are safe, both students and lecturers, and even those who come for the visitors.
To avert further disruption of academic learning occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic, stakeholders maintained that adhering to the safety protocols of COVID-19 is an effective way to flatten the curve of the pandemic. In Port Harcourt, Chidebere Onya, NTA News.
Meanwhile, contact tracing has commenced at the Lagos State University College of Medicine as 3 of its students have tested positive for COVID-19, leading the authority to immediately close all hostel facilities. Annie Daniels reports that the situation did not affect activities at the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital.
The confusion that followed the announcement that 3 students of the Lagos State University College of Medicine have tested positive for COVID-19 could be imagined. But on a visit to the college after the development, the environment was calm as the hostels have been vacated as ordered by the management.
All the students have been asked to go home to isolate for 14 days so that if there's any one of them who is showing any symptoms of COVID-19, such persons can report to the university. A phone number has been made available to all the students to call.
The coordinator, Center for Information, Press and Public Relations, Lagos State University, Ademola Adekoya, said the decision was made to curtail the spread of the virus. The spokesperson said the college was temporarily shut down as students are expected back after observing the 2 weeks self-isolation.
The university is already sensitizing students and the university community and the general public that COVID-19 is not a death sentence. Anyone can have COVID-19, but what we need to do is to report to the appropriate quarters so that they can get appropriate treatment.
Adekoya also debunks claims from various quarters that some of the college officials also tested positive for coronavirus, urging members of the public to please remain calm as the college is working assiduously to ensure the situation is brought under control. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Thank you, Annie. As the countdown to the National Sports Festival holding in Edo State from the 14th of February begins, the upgraded facilities of the tennis court in Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, Benin, venue of the tennis tournament, is wearing a new look, ready for all tennis players participating in the fiesta to showcase their talent. Peter Oibo reports.
Tennis is such a mental and intellectual game that projects a player's agility and finesse. Its uniqueness is that the players can override umpire's decision and concede a point, and also the winner and losers are entitled to trophies. That is why Edo State is no doubt a hub for hosting international tennis competition like the Ogbe Hard Court Championship in Benin City, which usually attract tennis stars around the world. This development over the years has produced former international players, including Veronica Oyibokai and John Atiomo in Nigeria. Veronica Oyibokai remains one of the greatest stars to emerge from Edo State and Nigeria. This edition of the National Sports Festival, holding in Edo State in less than a month, is expected that the team has put together players to represent the state for the single and double categories.
Here you see the tennis net you are seeing there is not localized. It's an international one bought all the way from the US. So we are preparing now, trying to make sure we get the good umpire chairs that any umpire can use while officiating a match.
Now that the court has been reconstructed by Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration to an international standard, it is believed that it can host any tennis tournament. The tennis court, which is measurable to a world standard with 78 feet, is 23.77 meters long, and its width is 27 feet, 8.23 meters for singles matches, and 36 feet, 10.97 meters for doubles. Also, the seating arrangements in the tennis court has VIP section, restroom, and special consideration for physically challenged persons.
You can see the structure here, which is very, very fantastic, and I really applaud the governor, definitely, because he did a fantastic job here.
The upgraded Ogbe tennis court no doubt will give tennis players across the country who will participate in the tournament a convivial atmosphere to showcase their talent.
In Benin, Peter Oibo, NTA News.
The update from Benin concludes News Panorama. Thanks for watching. Remember to stand with NTA against rape.